Hey guys and girls, I'm Duncannuva, and today I'm going to be talking a bit about the FM1 here, otherwise known as the Pete. And its role throughout the Second World War. And something else I want to talk about a bit more lively, really. I can't think of anything. Alright. So I thought today we'd talk a bit about New Zealand and War Thunder. And yay! So what is New Zealand and War Thunder? Well, it is actually New Zealand premium aircraft and New Zealand New Zealand tanks and aircraft being added into War Thunder. Oh, but Duncan, there are already two skins in War Thunder. Yes, I am well aware that the P40 has two skins representing New Zealand. The first one being the Glory Alliance, based off a woman in Christchurch Airport who was a pen pal with one of the pilots out in the Pacific, and the other one is the Wire Rapper Wildcat, which is based off a man who was a very good pilot. I'm actually talking about a couple of three premium aircraft that could be added into the game in the British tech tree. So there's probably will end up being put there until they do, because that's what they seem to be doing. So the first one is the E13A Jake, which was a single-engine float plane, but had two pontoons. What was very weird looking. I don't think it exists in War Thunder, so I can't actually show you, unless it exists in there. New Zealand captured and operated one, I think, during the Second World War. I know they did because it was eventually destroyed. And then it was, because it had a leak in its pontoon, and I think it then eventually was just scrapped, when it was no longer useful. The second one is an A6M30 that you could use. That is, New Zealand had captured 3 and operated 1. I hear you all going, what? New Zealand operated an A6M0. Yeah, we also were in the Pacific. Oh great, there goes my ally. And the key 10 down there. Su-2. Airplane noises. And this target's actually right near us, so where are they? There. Let's go for them. The other one is, of course, the KI-43. New Zealand did operate one of them, and then they operated a KI-60M8. Nope. 96, I think. Well, the Diana, the twin-engined plane. That was, one of the many aircraft that 6. Oh, well, we kind of failed. We bit over our RTB. Don't get it, though. What does it mean by shooting unavailable? Repair in progress. It's like, what are you repairing? Oh no. Don't tire me now, engine. You could easily see those being added in. I mean, the Americans have an A6M. The Japanese obviously do, because I mean they built the bloody things. But I mean, it'd be kind of interesting to see New Zealand with like these aircraft added in. It would be interesting. Oh dear. No. Go away. Mother Russia cannot have me. Oh, there's a tree there. Oh. I said no. I guess they don't. Oh. Slightly. Oh boy. I really wanted him to screw up. I did try. Oh well. I mean, it's like 5:15 in the morning. I really shouldn't be doing much, but oh well. I mean, I will play more of the FM1, I just want to double check something. Oh, it's weird. Because I know the Japanese were one of the many nations that used float planes quite well. Because they have quite a few. They've got... That's not it either. That's the N1K1, FM2, MA6M0. Do they have any more? Because like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 float planes in the game. In the Japanese tech tree, the Americans have the PB1, and then they've got the Kingfisher. Why do I mention the Kingfisher? Well, the Kingfisher is in the game, it's just that you can't get the damn thing. Yeah, it's because they have it, it's just that nobody... You'd have to... I think they took it out a while ago. But yeah, no. So... Before we continue on with New Zealand and War Thunder, let's just talk about the FM1 Pete here. This is the Mitsubishi FM1... I think it's reconnaissance vessel aircraft. It operated off of heavy cruisers. This is what it says in the beginning of the Wikipedia part. Wikipedia. The Mitsubishi F1M, Allied reporting name Pete, was a Japanese reconnaissance floatplane of the Second World War. It was the last biplane type of the Imperial Japanese Navy, with 1,118 built between 1936 and 1944. The Navy designation was Type 0 observation seaplane, not to be confused with the Type 0 aircraft air carrier fighter, or the Type 0 reconnaissance seaplane. So, there you go. The F1M1 was powered by a Nakajima Hikari Mark I radial engine, delivering 611 kilowatts, 820 horsepower, a maximum speed of 360 kilometers an hour, 230 miles per hour, and an operating range of 1,072 miles, 1,072 kilometers, 670 miles, when overloaded. It provided the Japanese Navy with a very versatile operation platform. The FM1, or the F1M, was armed with 3 machine guns, 7.7 303 inches, machine guns, 2 in the forward, 2 in the front, 1 in the rear, with the provision for 2 60 kg bomb load. This thing could also carry depth charges, which I do believe was about, depending on what you wanted, used for anti-submarine. Now, this thing also would have operated off sea tenders as well. The F1M was originally built as a catapult launch reconnaissance plane. Stabilizing gunnery spotting, the Pete took a number of local roads, including bomber, anti-submarine, maritime patrol, rescue transport, and anti-shipping strike. For example, sinking motorboat P-34, which I do believe was John F. Kennedy's motorboat, on 9th of April 1942. The type was also used as an area defense fighter and fought in dogfights in the Aleutians, the Solomons, and several other theatres in the New Guinea front. It was often used in aerial combat with Allied bombers and Allied fighters. F1M1 was a prototype, 4 built. F1M2, which is the one we get in War Thunder, was a two-seater reconnaissance Japanese floatplane, and then the K version of this plane was essentially just a training version of it. In the match you saw before, it was a very good maneuverability, and could take quite a bit of punch from I-15s, but was outclassed by the I-15. Obviously you had Indonesia who operated them, the Imperial Japanese and Thai who operated them. It has a 31-foot 2-inch wingspan. Well, its entire length is 31 foot and 2 inches. Had a crew of 2, a pilot and a rear gunner, as you can see here. Its wingspan was 36 foot and 1 inch. Height was 13 foot and 1.5 inches. Wing area was 318 feet squared. Empty weight was 4,251 pounds. Loaded weight was 5,622 pounds. Max takeoff weight was 6,292. 96 pounds. Its power plant was a Mitsubishi Zuishi 1314 cylinder 2-row radial engine, which delivered 653 kilowatt kW at 875 horsepower. Its maximum speed was 370 kilometers per hour, 200 knots, 320 miles per hour at 3,440 meters, 11,300 feet. It had over a 400-mile range. It had a 30,970 foot wingspan, and that's really about it. So, that's a bit about the FM1, and thanks to Wikipedia. What can I say about it in War Thunder? It is a very fun aircraft to fly. And this is something I do recommend to new players if you're going for the Japanese. Spend your time, don't research the A5M4 or the K27. Research the FM1-2, you will not regret it. After you get that thing, use it to help you research this thing, because the fact that it can carry bombs is a very good thing. Shush phone. Thought I muted my phone, so great. There, it's mute now. This is my one is fully maxed out, so there you go. It starts off automatically with the 60-pound bombs, or I think they're on. I don't remember because it's been a while since I've actually had to unmold this thing. I have, of course, universal rounds on this thing, as well as armor targets for the rear gunner. I often will switch between armor piercing tracer, so I'll try a bit with that. Obviously you'll get fuselage repair, but I do recommend going for your offensive 7mm machine gun so you can get a bout on there, and then go for airframe. And then you want to go for flight performance, and then you want to go for weaponry, because you will want, that will help you, and having a tougher airframe will mean you will get shot. You will die less. Other than that, that's really all I can say. It's a good little biplane bomber. At one point, you'll be facing Russians. It's a load up. I also do recommend you take it into ground attack, because it is a very good ground attacker in the D3A1. But don't take the valve in that. You stick with your K10s and your F1M2. You'll be seeing stuff like the CR32s, probably your CR42s, your BIS, your McCarlins. You'll definitely probably not see the CR81s, but you'll definitely see the BA65s in the Italians. Or you'll be fighting with them in the Jap, and here in Britain, you'll be seeing the Fury Mark 1 and 2. You'll probably see the Nimrods Mark 1 and 2. Again, do go for the Nimrods if you're into that. And you'll probably see the Swordfish as well. And maybe you'll see your Gladiator Mark 2. Here in Russia, you'll be definitely seeing the I-15s. You may see the I-15-3. You may see some I-6 shakes. You'll, as you saw in the match before, I did see an issue 2. You'll probably see your B1s, your SMB2s. You'll probably see 1.7, maybe 2.0 vehicles. You'll definitely be seeing your HE51s. You'll probably see the HS2 123 or even the Dornier 17. Hell, you may even see the Flegels BF109, McCrollan's CR42, and probably even the Dornier 17 Z7. With the Americans, you'll definitely be seeing your P26s, maybe F3Fs, maybe the Russians P63, and maybe the B10, and maybe even the F2As. But what it's fighting up against is literally biplanes and early war fighters, and if you know how they are, then you can do damage. So we're back in the Heian province, in a float plane. Yep. And once you've got this thing spaded out, it will help you, and it will literally be quite good, because, I mean, it's slow, it's... Oh, let's be honest, you're flying a biplane, you're not flying anything special, so it is again Japan versus Soviets. We're flying with J1N1s, so 2.0, the A7 HE1. We definitely got 2.0s. There's another F1M 2, D3As, yeah, because there's there's 3 J1N1s, and they're 2.0, the KR43-1 and the A7 HE1, they're all 2.0 aircraft. So you will see them, but if you've got a good team, you'll do well. We've had somebody crash, so that's fantabulous. We had some over there, so we'll switch to a gunner. Oh no, it's just a D3A1 on my... This aircraft is just, for me, when I went down the Japanese line, it was the one aircraft I loved a lot. This and the A5M4, Japan's first naval carrier. Yeah, we've got a Lag 3, we've got I-15-3s, I-15s, I-16s. Yeah, we had a couple of BF109s that they'd be sweet. There's a Hampton, premium Hampton. You'll see them. You'll definitely see some of the premium ones. You'll definitely see rank 1 aircraft, and a lot of these are all actually rank 1 aircraft. What's below me? Cowards. Well, he's probably not actually, I mean. Do they really want to fight me? No. Good. I probably should bug out too. So we could do that actually. Bug out. I probably done quite a bit of badness. A1. No! Ooh. Lag 3 just killed Lag 3, Lag 3. Red vs Blue. War Master, man. And we have lost 2 of the J1N1s. Ah, jeez, they would have... Oh, jeez. Oh, dear. So we're just gonna fly away. KO45 just took down an I-15, that's good. Let's see, if we fly this way for a bit. Yeah. Problem is I've only got 25 minutes of fuel. That's literally just gonna be like... pushing it. And because you're flying a biplane, essentially you've got quite a good bit of maneuverability for that, but I mean other biplanes will get inside your turning circle. I mean some of these Russian fighters easily will easily just gut you like a fish. So we just need to get in there quickly. So we're gonna do the one thing War Thunder states: fly close to treetop level. Which I do, and a lot of places like, we'll just fly to treetop level 2. It's my preferred tactic, is if you can fly at treetop level. For me, it depends on the aircraft. The lower or higher you are, the less chance your allies, or your enemies have, their lag 3 is coming towards me. You'll go for that light tank. Yep, there we go. I have been found by the lag. It is the lag. The lag will catch up to me. It is. There is no matter of if. It is only a matter of when. Bombs away. Up. Around. Oh, we hit him twice. Spin around, spin around, spin around, spin around. Ah, we did. Yeah, see, the I-15, it's a biplane. It will get inside your turret. It has a lot of guns. It will just wreck you. And I'm not actually that angry. I mean, it happens. I mean, I'm not the best dogfighter. I'm not the best, because I can take a dogfight and I can still lose even if I'm winning. Unless it's in the 0. Well, that's not that really good. 45. Yeah, so like the other part of the title, I mean, we talked about the F1M1, M2. The other thing we're going to talk about is, of course, New Zealand in War Thunder. We've got the Australians, and I've actually got an Australian aircraft, the Whirlaway here. This is a CAC fighter, well, actually, trainer. And it did kill a K-43, according to some things. By the way, if you're wondering why I never really activate wages, I hate wages. Like, I will tell you more about why I hate wages in another video, but back onto the thing. And, well, after the attack on Japan, on Pearl Harbor, pardon me, New Zealand and Australia finally, well, we'd realised after the devastation of Dunkirk, well, even with Japan, we weren't safe. We would not be safe for long. Japan, Germany, didn't matter what or didn't matter when, they would eventually come for us, and because it was only a matter of time, New Zealand and Australia had to build their own fighters or get fighters from somewhere else. New Zealand purchased a whole bunch of P-40s, SPDs, and TBFs from America for their aircraft, and, fair enough, for their Air Force. But with tanks, New Zealand did operate Valentines and Bishops and it wouldn't surprise me if we operated Churchills in, Africa, but we also operated M4 Shermans. New Zealand actually did build 2 tanks, and a lot of historians would have you know that tank is something that is, can use a gun. So what did New Zealand build? New Zealand built 2 tanks. The first one was a hybrid track and wheel system based tank. It was called the Schofield tank. It was equipped with 1 machine gun and 137mm cannon in a turret. He just completely desecrated himself. He brought greater dishonor to his family. And we are fine. I have had matches where I've been fighting against the British in this, and it's just kind of weird, like, the British, gosh darn. The Brits. Anyway, as I was saying, I do want to kind of get up this thing excelled at high altitude dogfights. And it climbs quite nicely, but I mean, this is I think this is completely stock. I don't have anything really researched A36 yet. Which I outclass. Anyway, as I was saying. I don't have any pictures, but if you type in Schofield, I mean, because what I'll do is, what I'll do is I'll come back and I'll add in annotations to this video and I'll put like Schofield and Simpleton so you can like look at them. If I don't forget, I'm bound to forget. So yeah, because there are a couple of other videos I do have to edit, and I haven't gotten around to because I've forgotten. Essentially, I am gonna go for that A36 on my ass. What is next to me? Key 61. I am. I'll talk about the A6M0 and the KI aircraft, the KI 43s, 44s, and 61s. And the rivalry between the Imperial Japanese Army and the Imperial Japanese Navy. Yeah, I forgot that thing got in realistic was downright. I freaking hate that bloody plane there. I'm gonna try and kill it. Gosh darn it, I had a perfect shot. Where'd he go? Down. Let's see if we can get him. He's gonna crash. A6M0, you don't want to really mess with that thing. Yeah, no, my cannons are out of ammo. What do you do? There he goes. Oh, Mifchi. On to Chile. What happened to you? Oh! Pay attention, Duncan. To be honest, I was quite low on the deck, you know. Freaking hell, bro. I want somebody to find that P63 player. Give that man a race. I hate the Brewster Buffalo. I hate the Canadian Mustang. I hate the Brewster Buffalo. I've got reasons behind that. Yeah, we finished on the mission, so we kind of failed there. So oh well. I mean, so with the Schofield tank, New Zealand needed needed a tank that could work, and they got it. The Schofield tank and the Simpleton tank were basically Kiwi do-it-yourself projects. Minister of War at the time, Bob Simpleton, built the Simpleton tank, and then someone named Paul Schofield built the Schofield tank, ironically, and they got built. Now, the Schofield tank actually got so far as to actually going to England and getting trials done. Pardon me. The Simpleton tank Well, it was basically for morale. It was the British. I spawned an offence, so that's fantabulous. Took one look at it and said, "What the actual flying F?" And completely and utterly so we have to capture all the enemy zones. Okay. And we will talk about it. So the Simpleton tank was very basically they took a tractor and put corrugated iron on it. It had 6 machine guns, 2 in the front, 2 in the turret, 2 on the sides. No, 1 in the front, 1 in the rear, if I recall. Later design variants required for this tank, had it gone into mass production, would have seen it with a 37mm cannon.
Attention to the designated grid square. Negative. Attention to the map. Defend the A point. Attention to the designated grid square.
And you have to kill my team.
Defend the A point. Guide on me.
Because the Simpleton tank had this odd design, I mean, if I could edit the thing, I would bring it up for you, but I don't. Because, I mean, you can only do so much with YouTube, and you can only do so much with Twitch. Well, with Twitch, I mean, I can set stuff up, but I'd have to do it from a computer, not from my PC. Well, not from my phone or my, mobile device. So yeah. With that being stated, I would quite like to see them implement the A6 or the some New Zealand stuff into the game. I mean, I could totally see them add in a New Zealand A6M0, a New Zealand A4 version of the F4U, TBF, Avenger Torpedo Bomber. And many just other things they could add into the game. Because I mean, you've got 3 Australian planes, but there are no, and 2 Royal New Zealand Air Force skins, and then there's Royal New Zealand Air Force, other crap. Oh man. I was just waiting for the message saying that Dragunov just got killed by Soviets. Ah, here comes got taken up by an I-6. Anyway. Yeah, and I do think I wanna... Oh, hey, what's up? Viewer. I hope I'm not really boring you with my silence. I mean, then I really hope you don't mind my mediocre gameplay. On the T-3485 was what the King Tiger fought against. I mean, the King Tiger here in War Thunder fights things like T-44s and other Cold War era tanks. The Centurion Mark III, Mark 1, Mark 10, Chieftain. The list goes on and on. When you go down the German heavy tank line, perhaps you finish research the Panzer IIIs. The fact that you can start facing Cold War era vehicles in this damn thing means that you've got to play a bit more carefully. In real life, the King Tiger would have fought against Sherman 76s, 76mm Shermans, what else would it have fought against? Pardon me. T-3485s, T-3476s, Churchill Mark 7s, etc, etc, etc. Tanks that would have had a fight, but not a good fight against the King Tiger. The King Tiger, when it was put into service, was one of the most dangerous tanks at the end of the Second World War. It and the Jagdtiger, because of the Jagdtiger was a 128mm Wheeling gun on wheels. I should be more specific on tracks, but oh wow. I mean, who's gonna notice? Unfortunately, the downside is War Thunder. They've kind of given this tank a bit of an unfair, bit of a downsider. I mean, yes, in the recent patch they have removed the buff, well, I want to say very bad nerf that they did for this tank. Where they removed the armor demodifier on the thing. Because I mean, there is someone behind me. Should have killed me when you had the chance. And it's not like you can't kill T-44 100s. It probably could have. But we're talking about if it got lucky. We're talking about if Nazi Germany survived, you know, Berlin, you know. Let's set the scene, alright. It's 1957. Germany has got Tiger IIs. They've got a couple of Miles tanks. And we lost. Well done. Well, that was a very quick match. I killed one thing. Woohoo. Oh well. And they're fighting against what's left of the Soviet Union. They're fighting against what's left of Britain and the Allies. And that's it. You've got Tiger IIs. Because, I mean, let's have a look. That is aviation. We do not want aviation. This is this line here, rank 4, is what I normally call Cold War era vehicles and up. So you'd see different vehicles. Because let's take a look at the Americans, because it is quite close. And you're prepared to be shocked. I haven't done anything with my Americans. Whoop-de-doo. Rank 4. The M50, the M51... all of these tanks, minus the T-54-95, the T-32, and the M2042, would have been are classified as Cold War era vehicles because they were developed 1950s. So for Korea, and then for the wars afterwards. Okay, go ship in the middle of an iceberg. Oh well. Why not both? Fair enough. Fair enough, friend. And because of this, you know, you see like these tanks here. Well, this tank, that tank, and this tank, all the T-29, the M26E1, and the M64, they were literally built after the Second World War. So I know the T-29 was, and I know the M26 was, because that's the super version. Or is it just the regular Pershing? Let me double check. Yes, the regular Pershing. The Pershing was developed during the war and was used in Korea. And stuff like that. I'm just going to get off that for now. And these things have 120mm guns and bigger. I mean, because you can start seeing it in rank 3. Rank 3 is like where you end World War II and you start going towards the Cold War era vehicles, like before you get your like T-92, T-25s, T-26 Pershings, etc, etc, etc. Because these things up here, end of World War II. Cold War, World War II. I know that thing did fight in World War II, but that was only one, and then it was scrapped. And you never saw, and some of these did fight, or they were just prototype vehicles and they never really existed. But because they're Cold War era vehicles, this gives high-tier German tankers, who have like the Storniter Emil, the Coliseum, the Jagdpanther, the Ferdinand, the Tiger 2PH, the Tiger 1s, the Panther Ds, the Panzer... the Jagdpanzer 4s. Okay, well that's lovely. You can wait a moment. Your RU 251s, the premium tanks from the Panzer 470A, the Panzer 4, the Panther D, the Waffentruchter, even the 2 Tigers you can get. Because in that previous match you did obviously see a Tiger H1. All the way down to these 2 tanks here, and this tank here. Well, those are World War II Nazi German tanks. The Jagdtiger had 128mm gun. Yes, it was a dangerous gun, but it's only 128. This thing could not. Had 250mm of frontal turret armor and 150 hull armor. This thing could bounce a shot from 76, 85, and other tank guns, because that's what it fought. It fought M4 Shermans, it fought Comets, Cromwells, it fought Churchills, it fought T-34s, it didn't fight T-44s, it didn't fight T-62s, it didn't fight M60s, which this thing will in War Thunder. And if you're extremely unlucky and you've slogged out the amount of bullshit, you've grinded through all your Panthers, all of your Tiger 2s, and you've gotten to the Tiger 2 10cm, and you've got the mouse. Let's say you've got the mouse. This thing, had it entered World War II, IS-2, the tanks that were built to kill the Tigers would have immediately become obsolete. Their guns would have been crap. 200mm of frontal hull armor would have bounced shots for days. Because have a look. And we'll delete the thing, we'll use the trackpad. This is rolled armor. In some places, it's over, you know, it's at a 56-degree angle. As you can see by this, it has an effective thickness of 317mm of armor. I forgot to do a thing. Sorry, because I'm a gimlet. We'll just go back. let's bring up the... What's you? Let's bring up the IS-2. Mod 1946? Yeah. Mod 1944. 122mm armor. What does that mean? Well, let's have a look at its shell. This has a 10mm at an angle, at an armor thickness of 30, 72mm of penetration. That's at a 30-degree angle. At a 60-degree angle, 150mm, 153mm of angled armor. At 2mm, at 10mm, with 200mm of armor. This thing would never penetrate the front of the mouse. The mouse has has an effective armor thickness of 300mm. But it doesn't fight IS-2s or T-34s. It doesn't fight World War II tanks that it would have historically fought. Oh, no, 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 no. The one thing that I hate about Gaijin Entertainment's battle ranking system is 5.7 to 6.3 to 7 to, well, 8.7 now, because, you know, you rank 6. Well, that's effectively the Cold War. These tanks were obsolete and were being outphased. Poland, France, any of the German-occupied countries were starting to use and getting rid of Panthers and Tigers and Tiger IIs. By 1960s, you'd see the occasional one. You know, if you were lucky. So why am I making a big deal of this? Because tanks like this have a shitty outcome when it comes to, you know, tanks that it fought against. Now we're getting into a domination match here in Poland. Now if we're unlucky, it will be Soviet, so excuse me. You have your T-34s or IS-6s. There will be like IS-6s in this game. So yeah, use all my spawn points on the Tiger II. And hopefully we won't die as easy as we can. So, yeah. And today, let's see. We got our U-251s. Now those tanks were, you know, decent artillery supporting tanks. That was about it. You go in fast, you do a lot of damage, and then you get out. And in real life, I think those tanks fought against mainly finding artillery positions or SAM battery systems, or what was the other thing that you probably typically find in Cold War era? Don't remember. No, you can't make me. Entire German army, Tiger tanks. Oh yeah, we're going against United States, US, British, and of course Soviets. The moment they had an Italian and Italian tanks and French tanks, well, that's just gonna put more shit to the wall. Although I am looking forward to the Italian tanks and whatever they got for the plan for the French and Japanese heavies. Oh, nee. Okay, so that was quick. There is definitely something in there. What is it? Landscaping. There's a Tiger 1. My God. Ooh. Get behind the building.
The enemy has most of the strategic zones. forces have captured a zone.
And now we wait for my cannon breach to be repaired. I haven't really played on the Flugel map as much as I used to. I quite enjoyed the no, it's Fulda Gap. That map is it's a good map. Oh, I see ya. Go away. Aw. Well, I mean, it was a T-3485, you know. I'm at least glad I got killed by a World War II tank. Oh, hi. Who's been changing my alarms? Give me my Whirlwind. I need to whirlpool some fins. Rip Panzer 4G. Who's he shooting at? Over there, eh? There. Yeah, the moment you spawn in an anti-air vehicle, everybody goes for you. Just gonna sit here and wait for here.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
Whoop. It's probably a Sherman over there. Hmm. I can hear a plane. There. P-47.
Die Geschütze sind in Position.
Feuer ausgeschlagen. Der Fahrer ist bewusstlos.
Who's shooting at me?
Der Ladeschütze wurde ausgeschaltet. Laden.
Alright, so I'm allowed to do nothing against a Centurion who can apparently shoot through a hell. Oh no, he couldn't. We're on how you spawn campers. Again, how are German World War II vehicles meant to do something against a fucking Centurion? Guys in entertainment, fix your bloody game. I don't care if you have to tweak the fucking things so that Tiger 2s and the Mals and the Jagdtiger are no longer, and along with the Panthers and the Tigers. In fact, add in some of these German wonder weapons. Remove some of this bullshit, you know, like where Tiger tanks can apparently stand up to bloody Centurions, and that. Add in the E-75s, add in the E-50s in their place. Put them before that. Move the Tiger 2, move the 10cm Tiger, 10.5 up, and replace it with the E-75. Put the E-75 before you get the Mouse, and then replace the Mouse with a different version of the Mouse. Yeah, Tiger. There was obviously going to be stuff that could replace the gun, the GW E-100. Put that in its place. Or, you know, move the Jagdpanzer 45 up. Move the Jagdtiger back up underneath the Ferdinand. And put the E-100 GW or the Wolfenträchter E-100. Or even the Guerrilla fucking 15. Because Panther tanks, Tiger tanks, Maus, Jagdtiger could not and stand up to the caliber of guns and how they were produced and the armor of later war vehicles. It isn't bloody rocket science. Oh, but it might affect gameplay. Who gives a fuck? If you've got players who, before you've introduced stuff like the T-62, the T-64, like rocket tanks, which is the big problem here, is rocket tanks. Even your Object 120 Turan is getting people annoyed. Why did you even add them in the first place? They were horribly inaccurate. I mean, players don't get that inaccuracy. Because with the with the Cromwell RP-13 and the Sherman Calliope, they were horribly inaccurate. You don't get to aim them, but with like the Sturv 81, I mean, they weren't even any better. Anyway, I'm Duncannuva saying thank you for watching and listening. I'll catch you all in the near future. Remember, this is Duncannuva saying G1's a beer on, and this is Duncannuva saying G1's a beer on, and good night. Or good morning for me.